Where you going with my T-bone, boy? She ran him down.
All right. We are rolling.
What you talking about? I gotta get. It's hard for me to, like, get my accents right. I'm trying to do Southern white trash versus like Georgia black woman. They all get intermingled. I can't do it. My Tony Montana is pretty decent though.
Good. We're going to need that right now. All right, monkey.
All right. Okay, how we doing today? The Unpopular Opinions podcast back again back at you, and we have a lot of stuff on the docket today. I don't know if we're going to be able to get to all of it, but yeah, you know, a lot of things are happening out in real life. You know, we had issues with our podcast. We'll talk about that later, but you know, we we know how it feels to be the little guy here, and we just want you to know that we're here for you. Me and Brandon are here for you. We can talk about whatever you want. We're gonna always bring up the little guy here, and you know. So the Olympics are starting, and Brandon's an Olympic fan, or you know, and so am I. But what do you like about the Olympics, Brandon? Like, are there any certain sports that you enjoy?
Really just the snowboarding. I like that stuff. And then I don't know a lot about what they're called, but they're in like the tube and they're kind of going fast.
Oh, right. Yeah. Well, not bobsled. The luge.
Yeah.
The single one is the luge when
Yeah.
you do it alone, and then the bobsled you get the team. But yeah, I mean,
It's pretty gnarly, right?
I mean, either one. The luge, you're all by yourself in that
Yeah.
thing, going 100 plus miles an hour
Right.
in a little sled that Grampy gave you when you were 5 years old.
Yeah.
Now you're a 35-year-old man. The wheels are rusty. It's all cracked. You know, the wood is chipping. You got splinters in your ass.
Yeah.
No, but so obviously the only thing I know about the Olympics are Shaun White is coming back to compete again. And he's not that old, but he's old for Olympic standards.
Right.
He's like 35.
Yeah, he's up there.
But
he's been doing it for a while though, right? Yeah.
yeah, and he still looks like a kid though. I mean, he's in great shape. You know he's probably going to win again. But he's like the main draw from what I know.
Yeah.
You know, but watching that skiing, there's a lot of cool stuff. The big jump they do.
Oh, yeah.
And then when they do that slalom, they're going 100 miles an hour around turns. You gotta have a set of cojones to be doing that stuff.
Yeah, I'll watch it. It's not for me.
When is it coming up? Oh,
It
tomorrow.
starts tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay.
It's the opening day
Tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Yeah. All right. Perfect. Well,
We
that's
look forward to that, right?
something to do. Yeah,
Yeah.
There's nothing we can really do here other than even snow angels. It's like there's. That gets old. Boo hoo to us here. I wonder if we got any viewers in Florida or California. I'm sure we do, but we don't like you, okay? You're in nice weather. We're not.
We have at least one in California.
Yeah. A couple.
At least a couple, yeah probably a couple.
For sure. Yeah, so speaking of that, now Groundhog Day was yesterday.
Yeah, I guess it was a bit of a disaster.
Oh, the groundhog died.
Yeah, it was right before Groundhog Day. So I think that just means that we're fucked, right?
Well, we're fucked anyways, Brandon. I mean, we all knew that. Are we fucked even more now? Probably. I mean, do you think he got stage fright? No, there's no way he got stage fright and had a heart attack because he's done it so many times.
Yeah, you were telling me, yeah.
But it's like, why would we want an old senile groundhog telling us what the weather's going to be like for the next 4 months? He's blind, he can't see. It'd be like having my great grandmother. She's 112, dude. She's basically a vegetable. You know, what's he gonna do? Lick his finger and tell us, "Oh, yep, winter for 4 months." You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
So, but that, you know, it's sort of like a sign, hopefully a sign of maybe good things to come. I doubt it. Like we already said, we're probably screwed. But it's like he was kind of a symbol to people, and you always think of that movie Groundhog Day.
Yeah, right.
People
right.
love that movie.
Mhm.
Bill Murray,
Yep.
funny guy.
Different approach on that, but yes.
I even heard of Groundhog Day 2. Don't quote me on Groundhog Day Part 2. I'd be the first one in line. Maybe there's a reason to do Groundhog Day 2 now that this little guy kicked the bucket.
Yeah, now they have a plot.
They're going to bury him in a nice Reebok, what do you call it? Shoebox, you know, throw him in there.
Bury
Throw
him
a
at
little
the
dirt on him.
bury him at the pet cemetery.
Oh my God. Oh shit. Yeah. So God bless you, little guy. Hopefully we have not too much of winter, you know, left. I think we could all deal with a month or two more. Ideally not 4 more months, you know. But we deal with it. As New Englanders, we figure out ways to stay occupied. And it's
Right.
maybe a good idea to take up a new hobby. If you're really desolate inside, now make sure you take your vitamin D. You're not getting any sun out there, the vitamin D will help you out. You know, do some push-ups, whatever, get your heart going. But, you know, take up a new hobby. You know, keep yourself cheery, and better days are on the horizon. You know, I'm a golfer. You know, I'm waiting for that sun to break through.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, now we're basically our last episode. For whatever reason, we don't know why, we had a good episode, and then we posted it, and then within probably hours of posting it,
Yeah, within first 12 hours.
it got pulled. You know, we don't know why.
We suspect a couple of reasons. If you actually go back like on Spotify, we actually say we could probably get pulled for this like 3 different times. I mean,
yeah.
so I mean the whole, you know, first story with
Anything
being pulled.
medically
Yeah.
related, if you insinuate that something can help with, that A can help with B, you know, it's like the FDA, they flag people. That's why you can't write on any kind of bottle of medicine if it's not FDA approved. You can't write what it does.
Right.
You can say like just general statements, and if you actually write it can cure A and B, they'll come after you.
Right.
Like freaking farmers have sold products and put claims on their bottle, and then they come after them like mom and pop. They're going after them. But you know, a lot of it is like when you say it, you say things the way they are. It's like, you know, why did our episode get pulled? Why did our episode get pulled from the YouTube? And I tell everybody, you know why? I'll tell you why. It's 'cause we always tell the truth, even when we lie. Okay? That's why. Now, we're truth tellers.
100%.
You know, and if you don't like it, you want the video pulled, and you know, that's all I can say about that. We will try to avoid any super controversial stuff. I can't promise that. You know, this episode is maybe a little more laid back, feel good. I mean, I feel like they're all feel good.
Yeah, 100%. That's what they're all meant to be. It's meant to be informative, have a laugh, feel like you're in the conversation.
I mean, do you think we should just keep doing what we're doing? Do we push the envelope? I mean,
I think we should say more outrageous things. I think you should talk about trans people now.
oh God, trans people, dude.
I'm kidding. I love everybody.
Yeah, that is a. Maybe we can delve into that one week. you know, but no, I think you're right, because what's the point of even doing a podcast if we're going to be watered down? You don't want to be watered down.
No.
You know, and we don't have to, you know, we're never going to attack people personally on the podcast. You know, I mean, unless you really got us mad. But it's like we're lighthearted in the sense that we're gonna talk about things that we believe, that we hold near and dear to our hearts. And if people get offended, you know, so be it. But we're not going after any you know, we're really not going after any groups. We're not going after any individuals here. But me and Brandon, you know, we have our own opinions, and you know, we'll broadcast them on the air. But you know, when things do get pulled like that, you say, maybe we're just not meant for YouTube. I mean, Joe Rogan is not meant for YouTube, obviously, and you know, he's not that far out there. Because Joe Rogan, even though you can call him a conspiracy theorist and everything, he is a well-connected guy, and he's basically like he's a figurehead guy that everyone knows, but also very common-sensical. And he's just a regular dude who has seen other people's opinions, and he said, wow, that makes sense. These doctors, they make a lot of sense. And obviously with Joe Rogan, he's such a big, he has such a big following that they had to get rid of him off YouTube because, you know, he's too powerful. He's making CNN look bad. He's making all of us on Capitol Hill look bad. And you're right, you know. So we'll keep doing this. If YouTube doesn't like us anymore, fine. But we want to coexist with YouTube. But you know, we'll just do whatever we can. And you know, I wish that didn't happen. But maybe it'll be good for our long-term well-being, whatever happens. And so now we got an article. This is one I found. There's been a Canadian truckers protest. I don't know if everyone knows about it, but pretty much a year ago, Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada, he announced very strict COVID mandates, and they announce them, they say, taking place next year at so-and-so time. And it's been a year, and the mandates are going to begin. So they have to get vaccinated as a trucker, and then if not, they have to do the whole quarantining thing. They have to get tested, and they also, you know, they have to wear a mask, and they don't want any of that. So they pulled, I don't have all the details perfect, but a bunch of truckers banded together, and they drove up to Ottawa, a long way from wherever they came from, and they're parking their trucks. I think Ottawa is potentially the capital of whatever province or Canada. You know, I didn't get an A in geography, sue me, but so they're there parked, and they want their demands met, and the government is making a mockery of him. He's calling them fringe. Justin Trudeau, these fringe, basically calling them terrorists, whatever. But the funny part is, so they're not fringe. They're almost the majority in Canada. They're more of a majority than Trudeau's party. Because from what I saw, Trudeau got elected in Canada with only 30% of the vote, his party. So I think these conservative truckers, I will bet you that they represent more than 30%. They're probably mid-30s to the 40s. So him calling them fringe conspiracy theorists, weirdos, whatever he wants to call them, he's basically slapping the faces of the majority of Canadians, at least more than his own party. So he better look in the mirror. And the other funny part about this whole thing going on is that they started a GoFundMe, and it turns out a lot of the investment, $8 million they raised from Americans That's so America wants to spread their freedom to the Canadian border even. Our government is basically back down on the mandates. They know there's too much firepower, too many pissed off people, or there will be too many pissed off people. They don't want to go to war. So that has spread to Canada apparently. And you didn't know much about this article, right, Brandon, until
No.
I had mentioned it.
I had no idea.
And this article is from The Hill. You guys all know that I have my alternative news that I read a lot, but I typed in the Canada truckers protest, and all the outlets have them. CNN, Washington Post, they're all covering it, but I guess not in a major way, because maybe it's making their plans go awry of their vaccine mandates that people don't really want. They don't want to broadcast the fact that there's a massive uprising.
Right. No, I agree. This is kind of like the Canadian version of the Capitol riot. Is this as mean as they can be? They just drive their trucks in a line together.
Exactly. I thought of that when I saw that they went on to the Capitol. And that's what the media is going to make them look terrible. Oh, they're trying to overthrow the government, but
Yeah.
it's this has been completely nonviolent. There was a tiny bit of violence in the American insurrection that they called it. There was a tiny bit of violence that it could even have been outsiders, but it was a very little bit, and they blew that out of proportion. I don't think there's been any violence with this one. The leader of the protest has said, we're going to be peaceful, but we want to sit down at the bargaining table and iron this out without violence at all, but we need you guys to drop these mandates because they're not going to fly. And if there's that much support, I don't think they have any choice but to back down. It should be your choice, all right? People that have not gotten the vaccine they're not vilifying people that did get the vaccine. We don't care. I'll say we don't care because I'm one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. I don't ask them. I don't want to know even if they got it or not. Just leave me alone, and you should treat me the same way. So that's all that these truckers want, and I think that's what Americans want, obviously. So they're not going to have really much of a choice but to back down. They don't want it to be violent.
Right.
They don't want me to break these pythons out, in the freaking broad daylight.
Right. Yeah, no, like I said, I think the United States, like, the government would be watching that because they don't want people here to get any sort of ideas, basically. Like, that is not happening here type thing.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yep. So good for them. Now, oh boy. You got to get my emotions going, Brandon. Not a tearjerker story. Very, very sad day for all of humanity. Tom Brady retired. Oh, wow. Here's the article, though. So, ex-Patriots linebacker claims Robert Kraft, the owner of the Patriots, Robert Kraft had temper tantrum after Tom Brady omitted New England in retirement post.
Did you hear about that at all?
No.
So, you know how nowadays your farewells are all on social media. So
Yep.
he either put out like a thing on Twitter or Instagram, like I think he thanked the Bucks, and he thanked his team and all these people, and he left out like the Patriots. He didn't mention Robert Kraft, didn't mention anything, and people were like, oh, he forgot where he came from and stuff like that.
But when he retired, he didn't mention Tampa Bay either. He just basically did a normal He wasn't like, oh, I got to thank all, the heart-filled Tampa fans who I've known dearly for 4 months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm sure he didn't do that. He probably just made it more of a general statement type thing, time to spend more time with my family or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. Dude, Bob Kraft, he's a tycoon type guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's up there with frickin' Bill Gates. He might not be their level, but he's got a big ego, and
Right.
I don't know. I think he could be partially right because New England didn't treat him well, but I feel like I feel like Brady treated New England even better than we treated him. I mean, the guy gave us everything.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, at the end of the day, all we got these championships, and every year you get it, you feel like a god when you win that title, and then the next day you wake up and you're like, all right, I still have to go to fucking work. I'm still a slave every day at work, and Brady's sitting in his penthouse, you know, sipping White Russians.
Yeah.
You know, obviously he's not. He's Mr. Health Nut. But you know, we don't get much out of it. But you know what we get? The number one thing you get from a guy like Tom Brady is inspiration.
Right.
And that is it. He's not giving you money. He's not making your life better in any material way. But if you can look at him and say, wow, this guy has made immense sacrifices to get where he is, and in a way bring championships and hope to New Englanders of all kinds.
Yeah.
And if you can look at him and say, wow, maybe I could be as good as him, whether it's football or your job.
Right.
You can look at him and be like, I'm going to be like Tom Brady in whatever I do. That means you're going to be the best at whatever you do. And even if you don't get that good, you'll still get pretty damn far with an attitude like that. But you know, it's mainly discipline too when you look at him. You know. So
yeah,
I didn't believe it to be true. I thought he was going to do one more year, but he'd had enough. Let his kids grow up. I mean,
let him do his thing.
Or let him grow up. Let his kids grow up with him. You know.
Yeah.
So, yep. Goodbye, you fag, Tom Brady. Just kidding, dude. You're not a fag at all. I frickin' love you more than you could even imagine. Okay? If you're listening, Tommy boy.
So we know who the fag is then in that case.
All right. Now, moving forward again. Giant New England wind farm threatens fishermen. Here's an article I found on Lou Rockwell. So we already had a whole discussion about renewable energy a few episodes ago, Brandon, how it's all contradictory. It looks pretty and butterflies, unicorns, and rainbows, but there might be some frickin', you know, snake oil going on too on the other end. But so here, this is complete, we'll call it cognitive dissonance, where your brain wants to believe one thing, but it's really another. Sort of that thing. I can't even explain what that is. You look it up, all right? Cognitive dissonance, but it's two. I think it's kind of like two ideas clashing with each other. So there's a big company, I don't know who, that wants to build a wind farm. They call it Vineyard Wind 1 project. Vineyard Wind 1. All right, so it's somewhere around the Martha's Vineyard and Nantucket and some area over there. It's 75,000 plus acres. And I did the math. That is, it was something like over 100 square miles. Okay, maybe call it 100 to 150 square miles. Or maybe 75, whatever, a lot. And basically, it's going to disrupt all the fishing in that area, because what they do is they call it trolling, where they drag the bait along the bottom. They can't do that with these big windmills. I think they're going to be massive turbines. I think 60 of them. And so they can't troll in that area anymore. And obviously, if you have to plant these giant turbines on the ocean floor, you're going to mess up a lot of the habitat and the environment. So here's the cognitive dissonance. Ready? If you're a marine biologist and all you've done your whole life is study what's going on in the water, pollution, algae, you know deep down that these turbines are not good for ocean marine wildlife.
Right.
All right? But are they also for renewable energy? So if you're all about renewable energy and you I hate them coal companies, man. My little daughter got ash on her forehead. You know, he looks like an idiot over here. You know, they are they going to vote for it? So you love the ocean and you love renewable energy, but they're completely conflicting with each other. I don't even know how I stand on this issue. So you're going to mess up all the fishing, so you're going to probably take livelihood away from some of the fishermen, although that part of the story might be a little bit overblown because they can fish a couple miles up the road or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, we all kind of know that. But the other thing, the project has a capacity of 800 megawatts. That is about, if that was running at full capacity, it could power 10% of Massachusetts with 800 megawatts. But the fact is, the windmills, the offshore ones, although more efficient than their onshore partners, they only do about, they can get up to about 60% of capacity. So call it half of that 800 megawatts. We'll call it realistically 5% of Massachusetts could be powered by this project, which Brandon had mentioned could maybe be like Nantucket and Martha's Vineyard, could potentially power that.
Right.
We don't have the numbers on it, but it probably would. I'm sure it would even do more. You might even get Cape Cod too, you know, some of Cape Cod. But is it worth it? I don't know. What do you think, Brandon? It's a tough one.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, it seems like it's, I don't know, is this like in like the
I already know
idea phase
Brandon
or
feels. No, it's getting close. Oh, and one thing we left out. Texas Public Policy Foundation sued the federal government. So the federal government is involved. The federal government, I'm sure, is going to pay a large part of this bill. They're going to pay whatever company, well, it'll be more than one company, and the taxpayer is essentially going to have to pay this. So the federal government's going to pay a large part of the bill to pay these companies who are going to get rich. There's going to be certain people getting rich off it, but the Texas Public Policy Foundation sued the federal government because, you know, they just don't agree with it. They think it's, you know, yeah, they're talking about the wildlife that it's going to mess up. So we have another state coming in, or call it a more constitutionally sound state, coming to our rescue, and that I like that. I give them credit, you know, and like I said, I don't really know what the deal is, but I don't know how I feel about it. But Brandon was saying that.
Oh, I mean, I think it'll be a black hole project.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. I don't know. That doesn't seem like it's very. I mean, it sounds great. Like, sure, go put them there. And
you're with me then.
Yeah, it seems a little out of line for now. I don't think it'll happen. And if it does, if they do try to do that, they'll definitely reach a lot of or get a lot of like backlash for that, because there's a lot of ocean lovers out there.
Yeah. Yeah, these projects take years anyways.
But yeah, I like how you said that though. Like another state is coming into, because they know it's wrong in their eyes,
and
so they're helping.
That'll buy them time. Them coming in will at least buy them a few months to another year. It always happens with this stuff. Like, it's kind of related to, not really, but my driving range that I go to got bought by actually a Texas company.
Oh, really?
That a Texas real estate company that wants to come in there. That it's 35 acres and build condos or apartments. But I'm hearing that it might be sort of marshland. So there's obviously, I'm sure, environmental people in Attleboro and stuff, putting up a fight saying, no, this is marshlands, leave it.
Interesting.
You know, kind of like that. I mean, that's on a much, much smaller scale. But these projects take time. I mean, anything involving millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to get their pocket lined. And that's the main issue at the end of the day. There's several people that are going to get their pockets lined from this deal going through. So many guys, they call them, I forget what they're called, but literally, lobbyists. So lobbyists are going to get their pockets lined. people that are fighting for it. And it's like, at the end of the day, is it even going to be that beneficial? It'll probably cause more negative than good. So whenever, always read, when you see this stuff online, you have to look at both sides, because 10 years ago or 8 years ago, I would have said, oh, put the windmills in, you know, little Joey's getting gasoline spilt all over him, these goddamn fossil fuel bastards, you know, he's basically drinking it now, you know. But there's always another side to the story. And, yeah, do your own homework. All right, we're getting towards the end here, but we might have, oh, God, a quick, funny one here.
A surprise one for
Tell
Mike.
me about, all right, what struck you about this article, Brandon?
The title.
40-person brawl breaks out at Golden Corral over steak. All right, what's also very important, where is this? Is it in, like, Tennessee or something? No offense. Arkansas. Okay, it's probably down south. When they don't even write it on there, it's like, you know, it doesn't matter. They just want to get the headline out there for a cheap laugh, which Brandon got a cheap laugh over it.
Salem, Pennsylvania.
All right, basically, yeah.
The social media videos depict the chaos at the scene at the time. Most of the individuals were gone when police arrived.
People are potentially marrying second or third cousins in that county, so I'm not shocked.
You want to watch the video?
All right. I didn't know there was video. Oh my God. You can't make this stuff up. Oh my God, they're taking freaking children's child seats and smashing them on each other. Those big wooden things. Oh my God. Whoa. Over a steak. It's like they can cook more. Chill out. It's a buffet. It should have just been like, some bastard took my bottle of A1. You'll never breathe to see another day, you bastard.
Oh, man, that's so funny.
It must have been the perfectly cooked piece of steak. It had to be like a perfect medium or mid-rare. The guy's mouth was watering, and someone grabbed it.
An initial but unverified report from a spokesman said that the brawl didn't start because the restaurant ran out of steak, but because the person who ordered a well-done steak thought that the person in line behind them who ordered a rare steak got their first cut instead.
Wow. Jesus Christ. All right, someone ordered the rare steak, but another guy took it from him.
Yeah, I guess. Or I think it was the other way around, like a well-done,
Okay. Christ, I mean, you know, you gotta eat. Someone takes your meal. I don't blame him. You could be more, like, you know, gentle about it. Be like, sir, you took my steak. Can we flip these around here, boy? You know, do you like grab your shoe and like smack the guy on the side of the head if he took your steak, potentially by accident? No. There's plenty of food there. I mean, you know what it is? I think people just they want an excuse to fight now.
Yeah.
Some people are sad, some are angry, and sadness and anger are cousins or sisters or brothers.
Yeah, they definitely go hand in hand, yeah.
But, I mean, come on. It just shows where we're at, where humanity's at.
Yeah. We're at Golden Corral with fighting over steak.
I've been to a Golden Corral, dude.
Yeah.
There were people in there, I swear to God, they were trucked in from, like, the Alps or something. And, you know, these were big boys. Like, I don't know what the deal was. They came and they would fight people if you took their steak. So I get it. And I don't really go back there anymore. just because of the intimidation factor. Now that I know why, the intimidation factor. If you look at somebody's steak the wrong way, they want to throw down.
Don't be looking at another man's steak.
Yeah, that's the bottom line. Never ever mess with another man's steak, boy. Okay.
Did you want to hit this one or?
All right. Yeah. Quickly.
Go for it.
All right. Monkey Girl. I read a little bit up on this thing. There were the monkeys. There were, I think, 400 monkeys potentially being trucked from a zoo, and there was a crash potentially. I might be making things up, but I knew there were a lot of monkeys, and I knew 3 of them escaped.
Sorry, we lost the article.
And 3 escaped, but there was a woman who came running to the rescue, and she might have gotten bitten by one of the monkeys. I think someone might have told her that they were cats, like you said, but they were really monkeys.
Yeah, this goes along with the video from the last episode.
Yeah.
And it was the news anchor mentioned that a woman was told to like shelter herself or tell somebody if she ever felt sick. And then this was like a follow-up article to that ended up coming out a couple days later.
Right. Now, has the woman grown a lot of fur over the past 3 days? Longer arms. She always has Dole on her mind.
There we
Dole
go.
bananas, Brandon. Yeah, but that's crazy that it happened. I mean, this is really a stupid story, but I just like I can just see like a monkey biting her, or even her biting one of the monkeys back and infecting the monkey worse than she could even get infected by it himself. You know, so who are we more worried about here? I mean, she could have been a monkey hunter for all we know.
And she found the mother lode.
Yeah. So they're making her look like, you know, the victim here, but these poor little monkeys are going to end up, you know, freaking on her nightstand stuffed, you know, their heads up there. I mean, I find this whole thing bizarre, and normally, I mean, Brandon likes these cheap laughs, unfortunately. Like, you know, I would never come up with this article. No offense, Brandon. But I always just think of, like, why would she be there? There's a reason why. And, but I shouldn't even think that hard because, yeah, you know what? She came in there, she bit the monkey. She bit him. All right. The monkey is, you know, taking on the characteristics of a 50-year-old, you know, belligerent Caucasian woman now. And, you know, people are more worried about the monkey than her, from what I heard. So, God bless.
God bless the monkey.
Yeah, God bless them. We'll keep you updated. No, we won't. No. Yeah, she's sick, apparently. Yeah, sick in the head. She's sick and twisted.
Yeah. Well, good luck to her.
Yeah. Whatever happened, that just made humanity worse off, us talking about that, but
probably
doesn't really matter. Yeah, so we had a fun day here. Holy crap, that might be the end.
Yeah, time flies when you're having fun, man.
Oh, yeah. You bet. And we got work later. But I want to thank everyone for this. I hope this video makes it up onto all platforms.
Yeah,
because,
me too.
You know, we just had fun. We literally had fun today. We did talk about a few serious things. The monkey was very, very serious, that story. The monkey woman. Yeah, no. But we did talk about other stuff. The truckers, Tom Brady, that's sad. You know, renewable energy. You know, check the Olympics out tomorrow. We can watch frickin' Shaun White tear it up. Watch them skiers, you know. And then the groundhog that died. But you know, everyone take care. Hopefully the snow will melt, and you know, that's about it. But anything to say, Brandon?
No, thank you everyone for your continuous support. We're going to be continuously uploading on YouTube, but we would suggest listening over at Spotify if you want to help help us keep doing this, help support us. The best way to do that is by listening on Spotify. But we'll always have the videos up with the articles as well. So
Perfect. The Unpopular Opinions podcast. Check it out. Thank you guys very much. You have a nice day.
take care, my friends.